I want to say I tried to keep it soft and everyday, but nah. If you want to be inspired for Halloweeny looks, if you want dramatic looks, this is definitely the video for you. Well, hello my lovely nestlings and welcome to today's video where I am going to play with the Grimoire 2.0 palette from VE Cosmetics. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm 45 from the Netherlands, hence the accent, and I love spooky things. Oh yes, I still have swatches on my arm. I love spooky things, as you can probably see. If you love spooky things too, if you love makeup, if you like dramatic makeup or unusual color combinations, or if you just want to be entertained and have fun with makeup again, then this is the channel for you. Subscribe now, because if you subscribe now, you will become automatically part of my Halloweeny band, which is already large, but we need the world to join. And yeah, let us know what you want to, what kind of instrument you want to play, and kind of what type of character you are. For reference, I am slightly orcish. That means I'm an olive. We also have uncooked chickens. We have mummies. We have pale elves. We have, I think, also dark elves. We have, I think, Oompa Loompas. We have Fiona's, 2-hour Shrek. I think we somewhere have a donkey stashed away and some dragons thrown in the mix. Everyone is welcome here. Everything is also welcome here. Yes, VE Cosmetics. VE Cosmetics is an UK-based indie brand, and she is also, it's witchy vibes, because that's what she is as well. She's a witchy. And it's a woman-owned brand, and I have loved this brand for such a long time. I do have a discount code with her. I did pay for this palette myself, because when she showed this, when she sneaked this, I was like, I need that in my life. Yes, and I have it here. Now, she's a pretty big one. Let me show you the inside and the close-ups while the palette still looked pristine before I dug my claws in. It's a mixture of mattes and shimmer. So basically you have one very dark, deep matte row. Then the middle row is a little bit more, I don't want to say happy, because it's not really, but a little bit lighter. And then you get a shimmer row. Yes, and then on the back of the palette there are the ingredients, and there's also a spell, and that's on all her palettes. It comes with an outer carton, which is just basically, you know, it's a book. It is a grimoire. This one is basically 3 palettes in one. If you want to know what I mean by that, wait until the end of the video, or click the timestamp that says review in the description box, because I compare it to the Grimoire 1 that I have here, and some other palettes that I have from her as well. I did use all the shades, so you will see them all used on my eyeballs. And yeah, I think that is it for the intro. Without further ado, grab a drink and a snack, put your feet up, and enjoy, because here comes look number 1, and I think that's going to be my favorite. Yeah, it was, oh. I'm going to start with the shade called Light. Well, I'm done. The next shade I'm going to go to is the shade called Neither, which is the grey. I'm just blending the edges a little. Maybe I will grab a little bit of face powder to blend it out even more. I'm grabbing a hint of the red that I have used. Back to the grey, and I'm just connecting it to my lid. Okay, I'm going to go to the next shade, which is going to be the black called Choose. I am tapping off very, very well, following my bottom lid up and then in. Back to the previous brush, I'm just going to blend the grey and the black. Very dark and dramatic, like me. Yes, I'm going to go to the next shade, which is going to be the shade Noor. This one. I'm also putting it a little bit in the outer corner, just with the same brush that I use for the black, because it does not really matter. Just grabbing the other side. And then I still have a little bit of black. I'm blending it in the outer corner of my lower lash line. I'm going to go to the shade Invite. I am grabbing some glitter primer because I want to put it on my lower lash line. And I just want to make sure that it sticks where I place it. So I'm just dabbing it on where I want the shade to be. Then I'm going to go to the shade Invite, which is more along the lines of a satin. I think I also want it on my lid, but I think I want some more black on my lid first, so let's do that. It doesn't have to be too neat, it's okay. Okay. And I'm going to go to the shade Noor, which is the darker red. Oh, that's actually very, very cool. I'm going to go to the shade now that I just used. So the shade Invite again. I have kind of a packing brush. I'm going to tap off. Let's see what it does. Probably create a lot of fallout, but yeah, it does. Let me spray it. Maybe that's a good idea. Oh, I can also use a glitter glue. That doesn't matter, I can. So I'm kind of cleaning my brush a little. Then I'm just grabbing a bit of that glitter primer that I used. I'm just gonna tap it on my lid. And then I'm going to go in the shade and press it on. Grabbing a clean brush, just to make sure that I have that gradient. Oh, this is very, very cool. Okay, a little bit of the darker red first. That matte called Noor. And then I'm going to go to the black. I am kind of afraid that it will not be what I want, but I am going to go to the shade Darkness, which is the gray, the lightest gray shimmer. I'm going to grab a little bit on a brush, tap it off, and let's see. Yeah, it's not really what I want though. Let's grab my highlighter. That's a bit better. And my highlighter is from DJ's Unique Boutique. It's the shade Heatwave. I'm going to finish it off. I'll be back. And yeah, I'll show you the final look. Hold on. I finished off the look with some dramatic falsies in the style Jean from AOA Studio. I just plopped a black liner in my waterline, and then for lips I basically took a lip liner that was kind of like my color, and then I used a combination between a lip oil and kind of a plumping gloss. The lip oil is from Catrice. It is in the shade Raspberry Glow, and then the plumping gloss is from Essence, and it has a slight tint to it, and then I kind of get this combination, and I really like it. So I'm going to be very, very dramatic for the rest of the day. Let me know how you like this look, and let's get ready for look number 2. I am eating because it's Wednesday. I'm going to do something green today. I'm going to start though with the shade called Your. Just tapping it on lightly. Going to blend the edges. Okay, I want for underneath my eye I'm going to go to the shade Create. Then I'm going to go to the shade, I'm going to go to this one. Then I am going to go to the shade called Trust, which is the dark green. And then from my bottom lid up, I'm going to go in. And a little bit down. So I'm wiggling. And if you feel that your bottom lid hangs too much like this, you just tilt. Basically, usually this part that goes around your eyeball goes up. So you just follow that with a flatter brush, because that makes it easier to make that shape. That also works if you have hooded lids, because you just stamp on top of the hood basically and then fill it in. I'm going to blend the darker shade up and in. Okay, it's time for the shimmer or shimmers. I'm going to go first to the shade called Harmony, which is the purple. I'm going to spray against any fallout. So how do I do that? I load up my brush and then I spray the brush. I don't know if I said that yesterday actually. Then I usually also tap off to basically move any excess. This is a pretty purple. I'm really looking down, kind of stretching my eyelid up, and I know where I want the line to go. And if you're not sure, just follow your eyeball. We all have eyeballs. And then just look up and then just, I don't know, follow the line. Okay, I'm going to go back to that darkest green, yes. I'm going to put it on top of that purple, but in a diagonal line, because I prefer to do it that way. I like the way that that looks. Oh, I do have fallout, which is kind of a shame, but we will fix that. I'm going to go next to the green called Intuition. Okay, and back to the purple shimmer. I need to clean up my face anyway. I think I want it here as well. I'm going to go back to that shade Love, that very, very deep purple matte, just for there. I am going to clean up my face, put on Falsies and the works, and then I will be back to show you the final look. I finished off the look with my favorite Falsies from Baby Doll in the style 723. Inner corner highlight is from VE Cosmetics. It's the Divine Highlighter. There's just one shade, but it's a kind of a greeny bluey highlighter. Yes. On my lips is a Generation Matte from Catrice in the shade Llama Pooh. And in my waterline is a purple eye pencil from Root Cosmetics. And then this is going to be my grocery shopping day look. And I really, really like it. So let me know down below what you think of it. Oh, I could have done my bat piercing, but I didn't. I could have. Would have been cutesy. Never mind. Let me know down below what you think of this look, and let's get ready for the last one. I'm going to go to the shade Unconditionally. It's going to be my transition shade. I did use a different eyeshadow base. Now I used the one from Natasha Denona. I prefer this base so much more. I can already tell that the shadow is behaving even better on top of that. Okay, I'm going to put down a second layer. Same color. I'm just going to tap first a little bit lower than where the top of the blend is. And then when I've placed the shadow, slightly going to blend the top of this part to blend it into the previous part. You would think that it takes longer this way, but for me it's actually quicker. because I have to blend less and I have to basically fix less, if that makes sense. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the shade Balance, because it's the more blue. I already used this one. Yes, this one, Balance. Going to start on my lower lash line, eyes relaxed, and then following it up. And then I can do the funny face. To kind of make sure that it blends a little bit higher. But the first application needs to be with your eyes relaxed, because if I do this and then place it, it kind of ends up here. I want this heavier in my outer corner. That is why I'm using the brush that I'm using. I can get a very, very nice shape, and then I can use basically a blending brush to blend it out a bit more. I distinctly remember saying that I wanted a little bit of a lighter look. I'm going to go back to the previous brush and blend a little bit. A little bit of the first blue. A pressed face powder. I'm just going to blend the edge, because when I use the face powder I have something to blend without blending the shadow up too high. Basically I just want to erase a little bit just below my brow. Okay, it's time for the shimmer. And I have one shimmer, which is the blue. I am going to spray it, I think. Let's see, I'm tapping off really, really well. Let's see what it does first. Okay. Yeah, it's honestly, a lot of these blues have a certain, they do have a certain stick. There's also a certain mutedness almost. Oh, I'm making such a mess. I'm just pressing it on my eye. I'm going to go back to the dark blue with a fluffier brush to blend into the crease and the outer corner. Let's also, because I'm a mess anyway, use it on my bottom lid. I have to clean it up anyway, so that's okay. Next shade I'm going to use is a shade called Darkness. Yes. For inner corner, where did I put it? I'm going to use the Divine Highlighter from VE Cosmetics, which has a bluey tint. Maybe I can use this one for that. Let's see. I am going to clean everything up, finish everything off, and then I will be right back to show you the look and give my opinion on this palette. I finished off the look with Falsies from AOA Studio in the style Jean. Lippy is from Juvia's Place in the shade Muted. Topped with a gloss from Lethal in the shade Nova. And I just used a white eye pencil in my waterline. It's from Makeup Revolution. It's just a white pencil. I don't know what to say about it. And this is how it turned out. Not as light and happy as I thought I would achieve this morning. But then again, what else is new? This was the last look of the video. All the makeup will be listed down below in the description box. Let's go over how the shadows performed before I show you the swatches and the comparisons and such. So for me the shadow performed very, very well. I did notice though that the eyeshadow base made quite a big difference, because in the first two looks I used the Kiko Milano base. There are shadows from her that I know how they perform because I'm familiar with her formula. They did not perform as expected on the Kiko Milano base. That is why I tried it also with the Natasha Denona base. That's why I opted for today for the blue look on top of the Natasha Denona base, even though the colors are truer to pan almost. With the Kiko base, because that's more neutral for my skin tone and this is a little bit more peachy, but it really, really makes a difference. The shadows blended so well on top of this base. So if you are having, and that goes for every eyeshadow, if you're having trouble blending out eyeshadow, try setting your base first, because that can also help. There's nothing against setting your eyeshadow base. If you want to set your eyeshadow base and work with color and basically, you know, have it all maximum impact, set where you're going to blend. So for me, you see basically here the whole lighter part, that is where I then set, so I can blend easier on top of that. Or as I did, you can use a face powder to blend out the edges. And if you feel like you have a little bit of patchiness, you can just tap it on back, you know. But yeah, check your eyeshadow primer. If you feel like you're having trouble with eyeshadows, check your primer, because that can make a huge difference. Yes, I love the fact that you can go monochromatic, row by row. You can mix and match, as I tried to show you. This is just a dark grungy palette, honestly. Jewel tones, very dark, very deep. I really like it. I like how the whole setup is, that it is in the form of a book. If you don't know, I store my palettes in a bookcase, so for me it's perfect. And so yeah, you can go row by row. As I said, you can mix and match. Let's talk about the shimmers, because those are the least amount, because this is the dark matte, then you have kind of a medium matte shade, and then you have the shimmers. The shimmers are not as foiled as she sometimes has, but her formula, usually she has more along the lines of the old school shimmers that look stunning on textured lids. So if you want very, very super foiled, looksy, that kind of shadows, then this palette is not for you, because it's not that type of formula. She does not, am I saying that correctly? I feel like she does not really have that in her formula, because her formula is just different. And honestly, I prefer the old, I love shiny, I love it, shininess, but I kind of, in this, I kind of love the fact that it is still very nice sheen, but very, I don't want to say subtle, because it's not, but it just works. Does that make sense? So not extremely foiled, but very, very nice nonetheless. I do have to say fallout heavy, especially yeah, these shimmers. Even though I sprayed my brush, still I had a lot of fallout. That could also be the brush that I'm using. This is a product, these are shades that are very, very well with a finger and can be used with sponge tip applicator. Just expect fallout if you don't spray your brush or don't pick up with a glitter primer on your brush, you know. Let's go to the red, because the red is a special shade. So you basically have your shimmers in here, but this red I feel is more along the lines of almost a satin formula. Now she has a very, very nice shimmery red in her Vixen palette, so she can do that. And I don't know if it was intentional that this one is more satiny. It could be, but I love the way that this shade looked, because it's something that I have quite a few red shimmers in my collection, and this is one that I don't have yet, because it just gives you a shine if you want to. You can use it, you can almost use it as a matte if you want to, so you can blend it as well. And if you spray or use a glitter primer, you can get it a little bit more shiny, but it is not as, I don't know, as shimmery as the other ones are. And I think that's very, very interesting. And the mattes worked very, very well. I could layer, how many did I layer? I think 4 is the maximum amount that I layered. It went on perfectly. This black is another black that's very easy to work with. It is not the easiest, but it's a very, very nice black. And when I swatched it, I was like, Overall, I think that the quality of the shadows is very, very nice. Even the blue that I have on my face today. Yes, I had blue cheekbones as well, but I could pick it up with my brush and I could deposit it on my eyelid. But it was Fallout City, not gonna lie. Yeah, that is it. The shadows did stay for me all day, which is very, very good. Yeah, let me show you the swatches as well. They are swatched differently because usually it's kind of like a B-roll. But here you see the swatches of the palette. Now, they are swatched on a clean bare arm on top of hairs. And actually, Angelica and I were talking about it. Why though? Why do we swatch on a clean bare arm? Because we don't use eyeshadows on a clean bare arm, do we? So let me know your thoughts down below, because I'm actually very curious to start. I kind of want to start swatching eyeshadows on top of an eyeshadow primer, because that's how I use them. Let me know your thoughts down below. But for now, this is the way it is on top of my hairy arms, but you have seen all the shades used on top of a primer in the looks. Now I do have some comparisons, so let's go to the namesake, which is the Grimoire the original one. I have the original one here. What I really love about the first grimoire is that I have a black shimmer. So here they are side by side. There's not really... Yeah, I can swatch the black next to it. I think that's the only shade that is similar in my palette. The green is more olive than forest. But I will swatch the black because that's the only black that I have. So I will go to the shade which is Embrace. And I will, let's see if we can swatch it a little bit. Oh, under here. I picked up too much. But yeah, it's all, the tone is almost a little bit differently. This is a little bit more creamy. And this is a little bit more dry. It's also an older palette. But here are the blacks next to each other. And that is, let me... Yeah, I can grab the shade No, which is a gray shimmer. Here are the grays. So this is the one from the Grimoire 2.0. And these are the ones from the other Grimoire. That's basically the only comparison that I have for this palette. Now I'm going to go to the palette that I was reminded of as well, which is the Blood Moon palette. Let's do it like this. So here is also kind of some inspiration. So I will swatch some shades of this as well. And let's see, there is no matte black. I'm going to go to the shade which is called Release in the Blood Moon against the shade Nor in the Grimoire 2. It's more brown, the one from the Blood Moon. Yeah, kind of. I do kind of have a gray here, but it's not the same at all, actually. This is the gray that's in the Blood Moon. So this is kind of what I see in the Blood Moon. So there are shades that are kind of similar. So for instance, this shade is similar, but in the Blood Moon it's more brown. Then these two shades are, yeah, not the same red at all. And then these are kind of similar as well. And then these are kind of similar. The Blood Moon though is an all matte palette. Just saying. So the next palette that I'm going to go to then is the Book of Shadows. So here we have the jewel tones. So I just feel like it is all these three palettes in one. So let's start with the Answer and put it next to the gray, or at the gray. So here is the shade The Answer, and here is the one from the Grimoire 2. So this one, The Answer is a little bit more, I don't know, lavender almost. Let me see, what else can I pull from this palette? I can pull the Purple Shimmer. Okay, so I pulled in one more palette. So basically, if you have all three palettes, do you need the Grimoire 2? Not really. The shades are not the same. Some are just a subtle... Can you just focus on my arm and not on me? Some are just a subtle undertone difference. And in the case of the Blood Moon, I can kind of dupe out shades, but the shades in the Blood Moon are all matte shades. So yeah, again, if you have all these palettes, do you need the Grimoire 2.0? No, you do not. I'm very happy that I bought the palette, and I think it is an amazing 3-in-1 for also maybe if you were eyeing all these palettes but you did not really know which one to get, maybe you can get the Grimoire 2, because yeah, even though I think it has the most, yeah, it's basically all 3-in-1. Now if you want more, I don't know, purpley colors, or maybe even some more reds in there and an amazing quality, then get this one. This is just an all matte palette, and the Book of Shadows, which is this one, is more jewel toned and also has more shimmers, because the mattes are these and these, so maybe that is helpful. And the formula, I actually think that the formula of the Grimoire is a little better than this one. It's at least more my preference. It feels a little, the mattes feel a little bit softer, and the shimmers feel they feel largely the same, but they feel like they have a little bit more body to them, if that makes any sense. So yeah, guys, I think that is it. I don't have the revamped Grimoire. I kind of want to have it though, so I can complete my collection. But I hope that this was helpful nonetheless. Now, do you need the palette? No, you don't need anything. But I do think that if you are eyeing the palettes that I swatched it against and you were not really sure, maybe this is then it. But yeah, again, if you want this one, it is a limited edition. If it sells out, it's not coming back, or as far as I know, at least it's not coming back. And yeah, if you don't like big heavy bulky packaging, then you don't like this either. But yeah, I really love it. I feel like it just complements my whole collection, you know. And then this is actually the outer sleeve, which is dirty because I have dirty fingers. So this is the outer sleeve. And yeah, I think it is a very, very nice palette. And as I said, I kinda, if she's having a nice Black Friday sale, it could very well be that I just order the Grimoire, the revamped one, so that I have it, you know. But I think that was it for the video today, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Do you want it? Have you gotten it already? The palette will be listed down below. You can use my discount code if you want to. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. I am going to wish you a fantastic day, fabulous evening. May your foundation always match your neck. And I will see you very, very soon for my next one. Bye, guys.